Alrighty, fancy seeing you here. Oh, am I good? Am I in frame? I probably shouldn't have a skip hat on when I've got my light up there. It casts a shadow, so it does. There is a pigeon looking directly at me, like, alright mate, you ready to record? I don't mind if I just watch you, make you pure uncomfortable. Fuck off, pigeon. Aye, so what's happening? I just want to have a bit of banter. And you know what I've done? Right, you might be saying, Simon, why did you get buckets and this thing, a glass bowl full of notes? Well, this is every game I played in 2025. Now, I have to admit, right, it looked a lot more on the spreadsheet. It doesn't look like a whole lot. I should have used a smaller bowl, but that's what this is, right? So here's the idea. I'm going to just give it a bit of that, right? And then I'll pull one out. I'll give it a wee recommendation, maybe yay, maybe no. Red bucket for shite, green bucket for good. Easy peasy. This one's going to need some explaining, okay? You'll not be able to read this, so I'll probably not bother showing you the rest of them. That's Pro Beach Soccer on the PS2. Simon, why did you play Pro Beach Soccer on the PS2? I didn't even know there was a Pro Beach Soccer on the PS2. I didn't even know there were Pro Beach video games. Mate, neither did I. That's why I played it. It was just the new guy. I just saw it, you know, I don't know, it just had a vibe. It was just lads out on the beach doing backflips and they have power-ups as well, right? Maybe I'll put some footage somewhere. I'm not going to go, I'll be honest, I'm not going to go and record footage for every single game here. I'll be honest, I'm not going to go and record footage for any of the games here. What I might do is whack the trailer up, right? If such a thing exists. Pro Beach Soccer trailer, mate. Bet you didn't think you're going to be watching that today. It wasn't great, right? I'll be honest, right? There wasn't a huge amount to it, and kind of once you suss it out, you're kind of good to go. It's not the deepest of games in the world. Look, I enjoyed my time with it, right? But I said recommendation, didn't I? Even if you were really into actually, the more you're into Pro Beach Soccer, the less I could recommend this. This was a bit of fun for a few hours on like a Wednesday night for a laugh, just to see what it was, to say I've played a Pro Beach Soccer game. But if you're pure into Pro Beach Soccer, you probably want a bit more than Pro Beach Soccer has to offer. Also, it should be called Pro Beach Football, so it goes in the bin. This will be great. This will take me 4 hours. There's like 30 games in there. What does this say? Sifu was class, right? Green bucket. Sifu was great. I don't usually do that. Maybe I do the verdict before it, maybe I do after it. Who knows, right? We'll see how we get on. Not even sure why I tried Sifu, to be honest. It was probably free on Epic, and I gave it a bash, and it's tremendous. It makes you feel amazing. It's one of those, you know when you first played like an Assassin's Creed game, which we'll get to, or like Batman Arkham Asylum, and you just mash a couple of buttons and you feel like the most amazing guy in the world, or gal in the world, or person in the world, because it makes you look like you know what you're doing. Sifu can do that for you, but it looks great and it's stylish as fuck. Ironically, that company's making Rematch, which is made Rematch, which is a sort of fancy football game. They should make a Pro Beach Soccer, and once they've got all that cash money in from making Pro Beach Soccer, Pro Beach Football, Pro Beach Rematch, then they can make Sifu too, because it's good. Even if you're not super into action games, it's really quite fun. And if you got it free on Epic, actually install it and play it, right? I know you've got 500 games you got free on Epic and you've never played any of them. Sifu's worth a punt. I'm going to take a wee drink for this one. The wee drink has been taken. Oblivion Remastered. Here's the thing. I did a video about how it's perfect, right? Because Oblivion is kind of perfect, and I love Oblivion, and everybody loves Oblivion. It's, you know, it's the dog, right? If Bethesda is a family, right, and Skyrim's maybe the dad, Morrowind's the grandpa. Not because it's old, but because, you know, it's just kind of stuck in its own ways, right? And you can't blame it for certain. You love it for certain things, and it does certain things way better than anybody from your generation could possibly do certain things. But it has quirks that are difficult to explain to your friends, right? So Morrowind's the grandpa, maybe Skyrim's the dad. That would maybe put Oblivion as like the adolescent teenager, but I would say maybe like Fallout 3 is much more of an adolescent teen. Oblivion's the dog of the family. Right, Oblivion's the dog. And I was all hyped for Oblivion Remastered. We were all hype for Oblivion Remastered. And I had fun with it, right? and I was all in there, like, oh, it's perfect, everything's there, they've made a couple of changes, but it's basically just Oblivion, so that makes it good. And while it is probably the way I'll play Oblivion going forward, I could have had almost the exact same experience with a really good mod pack. I would recommend it to somebody who hasn't played Oblivion. But if somebody has played Oblivion and has Oblivion and wants to replay Oblivion, I'd maybe just suggest like a Vortex or Wabbajack mod list. To be quite honest, I've kind of soured on it a little bit, I'll be honest, and I didn't finish it. In Oblivion's defense, making videos on the games, it kind of do that because you're doubling up in your enjoyment, and I've done that with Baldur's Gate 3 as well. I kind of burnt out in Baldur's Gate 3 for the exact same reason. So that's not really Oblivion's fault, right? So it still gets a recommendation, but I just wanted a full disclosure. It's maybe not as much of a recommendation as it used to be. Played a game called The Captain, and I think it was another free Epic game. There's probably a couple of them in here, right? One of my goals for this year was to play some of the games I own. Crazy, I know. Stop replaying Skyrim and Bethesda games and maybe Cyberpunk, although I do have a second Cyberpunk playthrough in here, so that didn't go to plan. But the idea was to stop playing the same 2, 3, 4 games all year round. But not this time. I played tons of games. Well, a lot more games than I usually play, one of which is The Captain, free game on Epic. It's a wee pixel adventure. You're the captain of a spaceship. You're supposed to be doing a little thing. You get bollocksed off into the far reaches of space, kind of like Voyager, except you're one guy, and you have to try and get your way back in time to save the planet because of a big war thing's going on. You're supposed to help and blah, 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 blah. I make it sound shite. It's good though. It's a bit point and click adventure-y, which I love. I love point and click games. There's a couple of them in here. It's not a roguelike, I guess, but you can play it in all different ways. There's a battle mechanic, a ship battle mechanic, so you can upgrade your ship and stuff. I kind of chose to avoid combat for most of my run, so I could focus my energies on like going down. Every time you like pass, you go down all these different planets, and each wee planet kind of has its own little episodic Star Trek-y adventure, right, to get you to the next place, and I really, really like that. But anyway, The Captain, if you like sci-fi, you like a wee bit of point and click, you like a wee bit of randomness, maybe even a wee bit of space battles, The Captain's a good shout, and you probably already have it on Epic. And it's not super long, it doesn't overstay its welcome, unless you want to play it multiple times, but that's your choice. So that other point and click game I was talking about, The Silent Age, I really like The Silent Age. I like sci-fi point and click games. The Silent Age was a fun sci-fi point and click game. There's really not much else to say about it other than I also got it free on Epic, I think. This is good though, I'm feeling good about this. I didn't realise I'd played so many of my free Epic games, that's brilliant. I enjoyed The Silent Age. It's also got a very nice art style, and I like the fact that it has a sci-fi plot, if I remember right. It's there's a wee bit of time travel involved, and like everything's kind of went all horribly wrong. And you're a janitor. You're just a guy. I like when you're just a guy. You're not a guy in The Captain. You're the captain. But in that, you're just a guy. Hypogea. I played this literally this morning. Just finished it. Kenshi and Chill. So you're a wee robot. It's a 3D puzzle platformer kind of, but it's very vast. And it's small scale. Basically, it's mega structures. Right? I'm a sucker. I love mega structures. I like mega structure games. Put me in a place where everything's massive and I'm tiny and I'm there. Maybe it's something to do with the fact I'm short, right? And I just feel like I can relate to the wee robot skeleton guy that you play. You also play what Kenshi would consider a skeleton, but he's a robot, and he's got a sort of wee rice hat looking thing. And his wee pal's got one arm and stuff, and you just roam around and you get this stick with a hook on the end. I know it sounds like I'm going into granular detail, it's important, right, to do with the platforming. And you can like pole vault, and you can pogo stick on it, and you can hook on it to climb extra things to get extra height. It has really good sort of traversal mechanics. I thoroughly enjoyed my couple of hours with Hypogea, and I finished that this morning. That also shows you how on the ball I am with this. I'm on the ball. It also shows you how absolute last minute this idea was. I just wanted to record something, you know. I need to try and get back into the habit of it, because I think that's part of my problem. Another problem I have is Zelda Wind Waker. I have never finished a Zelda game, and that hasn't changed yet. This was one of my 10 plus failed videos. I wanted to do like a complete breakdown of the entire game of Zelda. I was having a lot of fun. Game's very good, but I did kind of get into the part, like I'm trying to script stuff, and I was so overwhelmed by the sheer volume of trying to script like a 30-hour game in every single bit, and I don't write. I exclusively write in bullet points. Like, I'm not a writer. Aye, so that video got panned. I will do something on Wind Waker someday, because it was very good. It did take a bit longer than I would have liked to really let me go free and go wherever I want. In fact, I don't think I got to the point where it let me just sail wherever I want, because it's the pirate game, right? It's the Zelda pirate game. I have to at least finish the Zelda pirate game. I borrowed Ocarina of Time from a pal when I was a wee guy. We swapped consoles for the weekend. I never finished Ocarina of Time. I got a Wii, I got Twilight Princess, I never finished Twilight Princess. Missy's got a Wii U, we got Breath of the Wild, never finished Breath of the Wild. I've never finished a Zelda game. This is going to be the one, because it's very good, and if you haven't played it and you have finished Zelda games, if you've finished Zelda games, you've probably played Wind Waker. If not, you should play Wind Waker. Very good. Pro Beach Soccer's all alone in there. I feel bad. I liked you, Pro Beach Soccer, but it's a hard recommendation. Zelda Wind Waker's an easy recommendation. Even Hypogea is a relatively easy recommendation. It's like £6. You'll get a couple of hours of good fun out of it if you like that sort of thing. Well, this is maybe my game of the year. It wasn't released this year, but I'm not a FOMO guy, right? I am FOMO free. I am impervious to FOMO, to the point where it gets in the way. I'm never up to date on anything because I just don't feel that I can only enjoy something if I'm in the mood for it. Anyway, Sable. Perfect with Zelda Wind Waker, actually. It's a Zelda clone, kind of, right? Except for it's even more gorgeous than Wind Waker, I would say. It has that Mobius comic art sort of style going on, if anybody knows who Mobius is. So it's Zelda without the combat, which might sound boring. It's the best Zelda game I've ever played. Obviously, it's a climbing and gliding and finding and collecting, exploring thing, but unlike most Zelda games, unlike Breath of the Wild, right? I'm going to shit in Breath of the Wild just now. Exploration in that game is shite. Everywhere looks the same, and all you find is those wee nuts or whatever they're called. Sable, you've got your air bike, right? You've got this cool air bike. You ride around the air bike. You find different types of air bikes, different parts for air bikes, and you find different masks, different clothes. You find all different gear. It's awesome, and none of it breaks. The soundtrack is also tremendous. Japanese Breakfast do a tremendous job. I didn't know how much I needed Zelda without the combat in my life. I love Sable. It is one of the best games I've ever played. I love this game. I need like a golden bucket. The golden bucket is for even if you don't think you like the sound of it, you should maybe try it. It's that good. Absolutely love Fable. It also has one of the best moments in games I've experienced in a long time. Once you get out of the what we'll call the tutorial area, but once you get out of the tutorial and the world opens up and you're on your wee speeder bike, and the music kicks in and the artwork and it's just amazing game. Go play Sable. Sable's class. Slots and daggers. It's kind of like Balatro if Balatro was a slot machine, and if the slot machine was kind of like a medieval apocalyptic sort of slot machine. It doesn't have the depth of or the content of a Balatro or a Balatro-like or anything like that. You can probably get everything you need to get out of this game in an afternoon, maybe 2 afternoons, which I think's good, right? Because number go up games are really addictive. Like, I was addicted to this. I got like 17 hours in this game, and there's not 17 hours of content in this game. I just couldn't stop playing the bloody thing. So Slots and Daggers, it's a recommendation, but play responsibly. No Man's Sky. Played some more No Man's Sky this year with the missus. It was their first time. It wasn't the big ship update where they added the Starfield ship building mechanic. Probably figured Starfield tried to steal basically everything they had, so they might as well take the one good thing Starfield did itself and try and do something with that. Played a bit of that, had some fun, introduced the missus into No Man's Sky. It's a very good game for that. It's very slow at the start. We're still at the pure basic stages of stuff. But at the same time, if you're just looking for like a chill game to play with somebody, I actually think that's a good thing. And we had a good chill time playing some No Man's Sky. Easy recommendation. I'll find something for you, Pro Beach Soccer. I feel bad for Pro Beach Soccer in there. This might be controversial, right? I played The Long Dark, and I really like all of the Long Dark survival mechanics. I played the story mode. I played Long Dark Episode 1, and it was fine. You know, it's kind of a survival mode on rails, which isn't as fun, but that's an additional mode. That's the extra stuff. My problem with The Long Dark is that it's a very boring world to survive in. For me personally, survival is not the point. Survival is what you're just going to have to do so you can go explore, right? It's kind of like Skyrim, New Vegas, you know, all these things. I wasn't really driven to carry on in the Long Dark, because you get to that point, don't you, in any survival game, or any survival mode in any game, where you're good. You're like, okay, I've got myself set up here. I'm good, or at the very least, I'm good for a long time. But you keep going because you might find other cool stuff. You might find stuff to, in Fallout's case, upgrade your base. You just might find better weapons in Skyrim if you're playing survival mode, which I have never tried, you know, to help you progress further and do harder dungeons. But in the Long Dark, like, if you get yourself kind of set up, you've not really got any reason to go out there. You know, you're not going to find anything interesting unless you're super into survival, because the mechanics, the flip side of it is, as a survival game, the mechanics are class. I don't know how Canadians live like that, but the mechanics are class. But I don't recommend The Long Dark unless you love that sort of stuff. I'm an exploration guy, and there's nothing to find in The Long Dark. Toilet, water and misery. Tekken. Alright, we're getting some company in here. I played the original Tekken again this year, just for laughs. I was a Tekken 2 kid. I didn't have the original Tekken. And Tekken 2 is class. Tekken 3 is one of the best fighting games ever made, so on and so forth. So I played the original. It's pretty rough. That's really all I can say. It's pretty rough. The cutscenes are wild. King going back to the orphanage. Look up King's ending in Tekken, the original Tekken. It's terrible. No, that's a tough recommendation. That's not a recommendation. Sorry, Tekken. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. This is actually 2 or 3 failed videos. One of which I stopped making because YouTube have announced that they are cracking down on gambling in games, even if it's not monetary gambling, so like gacha, loot boxes, skins, and stuff, which is good, right? Although they're still quite happy to put all their gambling adverts on our videos, but whatever. And they're also cracking down on violence, or violent video games, particularly violence or torture or harming non-combatants. So my through line for the Assassin's Creed was going to be all the hilarious ways you can kill folk. So there's no point in doing that video. That's going to get demonetized straight away. Also, those Fanny Bones videos, those dragging videos, most of my videos are in serious danger. But whatever, I'm done fucking caring about stuff like that. I did play a good chunk of it. I got to Nassau, and I do think Assassin's Creed in a vacuum is really good. It has some really weird oddities to it, one of which is the first time I loaded into the game didn't load in with me. You're supposed to load in and you're under attack by Her Majesty's Finest and you and your crew are trying to fight them off or whatever. But I didn't get that. I loaded in on an empty ship with one floating guy, and that was it. But you know, I play Bethesda games. You know, I've got 5,000 hours in Skyrim, so my game booting up and immediately being broken made me feel at home. I do think Assassin's Creed gets the rep it gets because they release a game every year and it is just kind of the same old shite with a different wallpaper. However, I think the core game's good and everybody probably has one Assassin's Creed game in them. I am going to finish that game at some point, but not today. It was very good though. This game wasn't so good, right? I am a surface level guy. This is Scorn, by the way. Remember the H.R. Geiger, but it's orange. That's this. I'm a surface level guy, right? I like Assassin's Creed Black Flag because it's pirates. That's basically it. And the stabbing's fun and the running it's fun. It's fine, whatever. You get to play a pirate, that's fun. I'm not a very critical person, despite the fact I'm critiquing every single game I played this year. But I don't operate that way. I don't play a game with a critical eye. I'm just in there having a laugh, having a bit of fun. This is so much style over substance that even I couldn't get through it. It looked nice. It makes some very nice wallpapers, but it's I guess it's like a puzzle FPS. It's not. I thought it was a FPS. It's not. There might be combat later on. I never found out. It looks nice. The puzzles were kind of boring. Everything kind of looked the same. Eventually, it just kind of was just a big blobby mess. Even as another free Epic game, I wouldn't bother. What are you? Norland. Norland is RimWorld if you can't be arsed modding it to be a medieval game yourself. That was the first game I played this year. It was, I think it only just came out. It was relatively bare. I wouldn't say bare bones. Bare bones is maybe not being very fair, but it wasn't feature complete as it probably is now, because I have noticed that every bloody 2 days there seems to be a patch update for this game. When I played it, I kind of figured it out quite quickly and I didn't really struggle too much with it. It wasn't as random and anywhere near as chaotic as RimWorld, but it didn't have anywhere near the level of features. That might be different now. If you have RimWorld, I don't know I would bother with Norland, but maybe I would look into everything it has now, because I don't know what state the game is at the moment. So, a soft recommendation, right? A soft recommendation. Medieval RimWorld Simulator. Pilgrims! This was another wee point and click thing, another free Epic game. This was fine. I wouldn't recommend it. It was quite short. The artwork's really, really nice, but it was extremely basic. It has like overwhelmingly positive on Steam, and it just didn't click with me at all. I thought it was fine. The wee story, you can kind of mix and match how you do things to unlock different versions of stuff and that, and it's fine, but I don't know. I didn't think much of it. I'm sorry, it's going in the red bucket. Lovely looking game though. Oh, speaking of lovely looking game, Suikoden HD Remake, not the second one, because it's a 2-pack. I love Suikoden 1. I've only ever played Suikoden 1. JRPG, turn-based, but it's one of those, not monster collector games, it's one of those like party collector games, like Chrono Cross, where you can have like up to 100 different people in your team. Not at once, obviously. And, you know, as you upgrade your party, or your army in this case, and there is an army battle mechanic as well in the game, which is quite fun. It's like wee tiny guys, it looks like a Spectrum game or something. It's awesome. I love that part. As you do it, you upgrade your castle. As you upgrade your castle, you get extra benefits, blah, blah, blah. Love this game, love the remake, itching to play the second one, which is apparently even better. It also looks better. The graphical update for the second one is way more impressive than the first one, and I don't know why. Good story. Although one of my guys died, and I could have saved him, I didn't find out till later that I didn't get like the perfect ending, so when I play Suikoden 2, this guy's just still going to be dead. Which is cool, right? Which makes it even more of a recommendation, because consequences in video games is always fun. But I fucked it. Ridge Racer. Played the original Ridge Racer alongside Tekken. Much easier recommendation. Bit of fun, bit of arcade banter. It's not really a recommendation. If you like that sort of thing, if you're a racing fan, you like a wee bit of arcade racing as well, it's an afternoon. And you know what? It's an afternoon. I like it, right? I like the original Ridge Racer. And its sound, you know what? Absolutely. Give it a wee jiggle, because its soundtrack is tremendous. Some of that really hard PS1 drum and bass. What is this? Simon, why do you play these games? I played the PS1 International Track and Field, and I gave myself a blister again. I used to get blisters playing these games. It's ones where you need to like... That probably looked really bad on camera. I don't have a controller, right? But it's ones where you like really have to mash the keys and stuff. And I won. I got gold and everything, because I'm the best. But I did get a blister, just like back in the day. I'm not going to recommend this, even though it's a shit ton of fun, because it will physically damage your thumbs. That is fun though. Thumbs grow back. In the green bin it goes. Tyrants Realm. Tyrants Realm is kind of like if the PS1 Nightmare Creatures was a roguelike. I don't usually do roguelikes. I'm not really a roguelike guy. I don't particularly enjoy doing the same thing over and over again. I really quite like this game though. It has this really nice aesthetic. It's got that sort of dark fantasy PS1 sort of looking vibe. You unlock different weapons, different masks, and that kind of changes up your build to go through the game over and over with, to unlock different stuff to go through the game, to unlock the different stuff to go through the game. I don't know how much it is though, because that would depend if I still recommended it, or if they've added anything else, because this was another game I played at the start of the year. I would maybe want some more levels, because it did get a bit repetitive at the end. But we're going to be generous, because I think it's cheap. And I don't like roguelikes, I still like that game, so it must have something going on. This will be controversial. So I played Cyberpunk again, right? Cyberpunk's obviously an easy recommendation, right? Let's not get carried away. The only problem is, it was the Netrunner build. The very first time I played Cyberpunk, I did a sort of smash and grab style, right? It was shotguns, it was guerrilla fists, it was rampaging everywhere, it was awesome, I had a lot of fun. This one I thought Netrunner, but I saved Netrunner for VR, because Luke Ross has a VR mod. So I was like, I'll save that, because that means you're not moving about as much, because, you know, it's not native VR, so it can be a bit wonky. And so that's the plan, that's what we'll do. But obviously, that didn't come to fruition, so I just played it flat screen. It's kind of shite, isn't it? Have you done Netrunner? It's kind of shite. Because if you leave it at vanilla, at least at the time, I don't know if they've updated it, you get caught after a while anyway, for the most part, because they'll have a Netrunner that'll find you and everybody knows where you are. Then you're like, okay, game's a bogey. I'm not really getting to do the whole super espionage, netrunnery thing in the way I thought I would. So I modded it so that I could do that. But it turns out the reason they don't let you do that is because just being able to hack everybody and kill everybody and barely not do anything, you know, that entire building would be dead before I'd even enter it. It gets boring after a while. So a recommendation is not to play as a netrunner. Or find a sort of more balanced netrunner slash gunslingery sort of build. Pure netrunner, pure shite, mate. Oh, Shenmue. Shenmue's class. I'm probably going to do videos on Shenmue. I don't know what. I've got some ideas. I've tried some things they haven't worked out. It's also on the videos that didn't really work out list. This is an odd fucking game. But like in a good way. You know? Like you get pocket money. You get gacha. You can pull the pictures off the walls for some reason. You can inspect every cupboard, every drawer. You have a time schedule. You have to go get a job. You have to drive a forklift. You get to race the forklift every morning, which is fun until it's not. It gets boring. But you have to go and just move crates for days and days and days. Such a weird game, but it's tremendous. And it's a vibe. It's the most vibe a game has ever been. First time playing it properly as well. My mate used to have it on the Dreamcast back in the day, but I didn't have a Dreamcast, and I was always jealous of him. What I did have was a PlayStation. What I did have was Buster Groove. Buster Groove is like my favourite rhythm game of all time, says the guy who doesn't play rhythm games. I don't need to play rhythm games, mate. I've played Buster Groove. The music's banging, even though it's really corny. It's really like 90s cool guy corny PS1 rhythm game. It's quite easy. It's good fun. I love Buster Groove. You should try Buster Groove. Oh, I've not got too many to go. Oh! So I said Sable might be my game of the year. If it has to be a game that was released this year, then my game of the year is probably Citizen Sleeper 2. I am a huge Citizen Sleeper fan. I played the first one when it came out. Tremendous game. It's kind of like a light tabletop resource management sort of gimmick slash, I don't want to say visual novel, but there's a lot of reading in it. Hard to talk about like in videos because of its presentation, but the artwork's gorgeous. The music is tremendous. It alongside Sable, I have on a wee playlist when I'm like going for a walk or something. Always listen to this. Games class, absolutely brilliant. Hard recommend. The hardest of recommends for Citizen Sleeper. I'm not going to. If you're the type of person that loves strategy games, Into the Breach is probably brilliant, right? And I tried it because I like mechs. Mechs are fun. But I'm crap at strategy games. So I hit a ceiling on this relatively early, I think. I want to be... I like the idea of strategy games. I've never finished Final Fantasy Tactics. I never played Fire. Whenever I think of these games, front mission, I'm always like, oh, I would love that. I'm going to love that. I'm going to play. I'm going to love that, mate. I'm going to love it. I'm going to love it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to beat it. This is the one. And every time I do it, I am reminded that I'm shite at these games, and my brain just doesn't get it. I don't know what it is I don't get, but I get beat all the time, so I'm obviously not getting something. So it's hard for me to recommend Into the Breach. If you like that sort of thing, it's probably class, but I didn't really. What's this? Sonic Mania, right? Another epic. I think Into the Breach was another free epic game. Sonic Mania was free epic game. I really liked Sonic Mania. I didn't finish it. I lost all my lives after a certain point. I think I got to the drowning level, and then I kind of died multiple times and then gave up. I had my fun with it though, but it did kind of re-traumatise me because I genuinely believe, if you don't know, I've got a fear of water. I genuinely believe part of that comes from Sonic 1 and the Labyrinth level, when it has the wee... Hate that. I used to hate that level so much, I used to go and get my dad to go do it for me when I would get to that level. Hate it. That's why I don't like water. Don't really know why that's relevant to Sonic Mania, except for the fact I got to the water level, couldn't figure it out. It had the wee thing again, I drowned, and I was like, no, I'm done with this game. But I did enjoy it. But it might give you phobias, so actually, it's going in the red bin. Not recommended. Not worth getting thalassophobia for. So the game I played before Hypogea was Dredge. That was my Halloween game, which is a fishing game. I love fishing. Well, I don't like, it says that. I've never been fishing. I actually don't like the idea of going fishing either. But I love fishing in video games. Shenmue doesn't have fishing, right? You'd think it has fishermen in it, but you would just think that's the sort of game that have fishing. It didn't have fishing. Actually, This might be the only game I played this year that had fishing. Need to do something about that, video game industry. Fishing, but it's Lovecraftian fishing. I enjoyed my time with it. I would say if you're into Lovecraftian games, it's a hard recommendation. If you're into fishing games, I dare say it's only a soft recommendation because it has this mechanic where the more you fish, the more time passes, obviously, and at night it gets all weird and there's things and there's Lovecraftian nonsense going on all the time. So it's not stress-free, and I kind of like a bit of stress-free in my fishing. I still really liked the game though, because the Lovecraftian stuff was a lot of fun, and the fishing mechanics were fun, and the exploration was fun actually. You know what, it's good. Talk myself into it. It's actually really good. What's last? I know what's last, because we haven't spoke about it yet. Fallout London. Had a lot of fun. I haven't finished Fallout London yet because it's absolutely humongous, and it's dense, and it's maybe the most hostile wasteland there's ever been. I got to the point where you go into almost like a second map. Like the game has its own DLC zone just built in, and now it has its own DLC zone because I think they have released DLC for it. But it's full of banter, it's good stuff, and while the state of Fallout is quite depressing at the moment with the sort of, you know, shitey anniversary editions and all that rubbish. The TV show's coming out soon, and I haven't finished Fallout London yet, and it got DLC, so I'm going to do that, I think, instead. But it's brilliant, man. I can't believe Fallout London exists. It's tremendous. It's just tremendous. It's insane that if you haven't played it, you should play it. If you have played it, you know what I'm talking about. It is wild that Fallout London is a real thing that you can play. Easy recommendation, especially for this community. That's it. I've got no more games. That was my entire year's worth of games. It's weird. You know, I promised I would play a bunch of games this year instead of the same old shite, which I did do, but I didn't play the sort of games I thought I would play. As for me, I'm doing all right. Will we do the boring part now, where I just pure moan about stuff? I don't think so. I don't want to. I quite like this. I don't know what this is. I don't really know how. I thought, anyway, whatever. It's not, I'm saying that as if it's a pure genius fucking idea. It's a stupid idea. But I've actually quite enjoyed this, even though the banter's probably shite, because I'm not really, you know, I'm just critiquing things, and that's not really my style. I'm not a writer. Look at the state of me. I've got an empty glass bowl, and I'm wearing a hat on indoors, and I'm getting a headache because I got a big light in my face, and I'm sweating, and I have 2 buckets. No, I don't actually. I have 5 buckets. I'm not a writer. I need to clean all that up now. I get rabbit hair on everything. Is there a dead fly in that? There might be a dead fly in that. But aye. Thanks. I'm tidying up the buckets. Thanks for the safety net. My wee safety net's really helped a lot these past, 5 months now. Let's see, I'm not going to end on the sad note, but there has been more family stuff and blah, 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 right? This was fun. A wee bit of back and forward with you. I say back and forward, it's exclusively forward from me. Nae back chat for you. Although, I wouldn't mind hearing what you've played and your recommendations. Not that my wish list needs any more games in it. I know it's not end of the year yet, right? But like top 3, sort of top 5 games, not best games. I don't believe in best, I believe in favourite. What's been the most fun you've had? Your top 3 good games, good fun games that you enjoyed. Don't even need to be good, mate. They can be shite. Some of the games in here are probably kind of shite. Like, some of the games in here are objectively good. The Long Dark is a good game. I just didn't enjoy it that much. I am rambling on even more than usual. Usually I make sure I've like got a plan so that I can end on like a high, like, and I'm going to be doing this. But then something happens and that doesn't happen, so I'm just not going to do that this time. Just know I am trying to figure stuff out in amongst everything that's going on in life. As we all are, eh? This was good though. I quite enjoyed this, even though it was shite.